Have you ever done hard drugs before, like psychedelics? Of course you haven't, because you're a responsible founder, you're a responsible venture capitalist, and you're a responsible corporate employee, right? I mean, I've never done any drugs either. Oh, God, I'm sorry, man. Welcome, guys, to Venture Daily. It's me, Peter. Today we're going to be talking about psychedelics. That's absolutely right. I was trying to keep a straight face there, guys. Guys, I don't do drugs. And I know that you don't do drugs either. Yeah, I really want to talk about this. There's an article right here in front of me. Psychedelics, the next wave for investors. Now, is this really the next wave? So we're going to be talking about this article. I'm going to give my color commentary, and then we're going to go into the second segment of today's show, which is venture deals for the day after Christmas, guys. Yeah, money's still flowing, and it's important to know where the money is going. And after that, we're going to be talking about podcasts moving in to 2020, guys. I'm glad you guys are here. It's Venture Daily with me, Peter. Let's get into it, guys. Here we go. Psychedelics, the next wave for investors? Could be, my friends. It's a wild time to invest in alternative medicine. Just think about how much wealth has come from widespread legalization of CBD and expanded access to full-spectrum cannabis. Cha-ching, guys. In recent years, and I'll tell you, I have seen more people in my larger network begin to go off and start side hustles in cannabis and CBD. Are they drop shipping? Are they wholesaling? I don't know, and I don't care. All I know is I'm seeing more and more people, regular Joe Schmoes, like you and me, in states where it's legal. It's a growing business, guys. It's a booming business. As we observe the successes and failures from these first wave ventures, investors are now identifying a natural link to the early yet potentially explosive world of commercial psychedelics. Absolutely, guys. It's time for psychedelics to enter into the equation of investors. And if I were to add any other color commentary to this, I would say that many investors, many investors out in the San Francisco Bay Area probably already own psychedelics in terms of the ways that they're investing and the things that they're investing in. Are we in an investment bubble? Or maybe that's just a conversation for another time. Why, similarly to how people are using cannabis and CBD to treat themselves, these compounds are positioned to become the next big thing in mental health treatment, and I completely agree. Now, aside from the introduction, which was completely raw and unfiltered and uncut, obviously, because this is just a daily news show, and we just do it real. We don't need to cut stuff. I will say, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows out there, I am not against CBD, hemp, oils, THC usage, or any. I've never done psychedelics. Okay, so I don't know the medicinal value of psychedelics. I also don't really fully understand the medicinal value of other drugs, unless it's from someone who has used them effectively, and it has helped them. So I am relatively agnostic to these stuff. The thing that I don't like, I will say, if you're wondering about my opinion, many of you guys are like, I don't care. But if you're wondering about my opinion, where I really stand when it comes to drugs, the only drugs that I really don't like are the drugged up culture that we live in. Not weed and THC and all that stuff. I'm talking about pill poppers, the painkillers, that type of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You're the big corporations that are pushing this stuff on them. That's no bueno. Anyway, psilocybin, LSD, and MDMA are being recommended as potential treatments for anxiety. That's win. Depression, and PTSD by a growing number of reputable institutions, with research indicating that these compounds could also have far-reaching effects for people struggling with substance abuse, smoking addiction, or processing grief. The psychedelic psychiatric breakthrough happens when you take one of these drugs, resulting in a dissolution of the ego, which can lead to a new perception of reality and one's place within it. Now, I have gone I have gone down the trip, the YouTube rabbit hole, guys, of the value of MDMA, psilocybin, ayahuasca, right? I think Joe Rogan had a segment on ayahuasca, killing the ego, these types of things. I've always been curious about them. I've always been curious about these psychedelic trips and killing the ego, destroying the ego. I've never done it myself, but I will tell you that I am intrigued and interested in the process. And so let me know in the comments below if any of you guys out there, no shame in the game, if any of you guys out there have tried this stuff. If you have, let me know. What is your experiences? So wherever you go, there you are. Scientist Albert Hofmann, the first known person to synthesize LSD, argued passionately against the public's casual recreational use of the drugs during the 1960s and 1970s, mostly because the only people that were really using it back then was the CIA. Hoffman's initial discovery of LSD was set aside for 5 years until April 1943, when he returned to his early therapeutic research on the compound. At the core of Hoffman's theory is the idea that psychedelics can aid an individual in readjusting their perspective, ultimately leading them to a realization that they are a small part of something much bigger than themselves. Side effects of this experience can include feeling deeply connected, an increase in empathy. That's something a lot of VCs could grow. Being connected and increasing in empathy, for sure. And a new way of reinvigorating sense of purpose. Not bad. This reframing can be a powerful tool in the psychological treatment process, similar to CBT or EMDR. Psychedelics are being looked as a kind of hard reset for patients living with a wide variety of complex mood disorders. For many people, the trip can be a life-changing experience. And I will tell you guys that from people that I've talked to, it is certainly a life-changing experience. In my community, where we've had a lot of people in the crypto space, and generally, I wouldn't say generally, but a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are individuals who are a little bit off the reservation than usual, right? They have different worldviews, different politics. They tend to fall into a group of people who are anti-establishment, right? Anti-mainstream. Right? And so these individuals generally, in many ways, have their minds opened more. And I've met a lot of people in the decentralized space, the DeFi space, the cryptocurrency space, who've had these types of experiences. And they all tell me it was worth it every time. Researchers are already discovering the great potential psychedelics have for public health. Rick Doblin, PhD, founder and executive director of the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, or MAPS, has been working the line between psychedelics and psychotherapy since 1986. Doblin's team is focused on advancing critical professional dialogue around the study of psychedelics as a treatment for aid for trauma, PTSD, schizophrenia, depression, and more. It's essential to support research from institutions like MAPS to help legitimize, understand, and properly apply psychedelic treatments in psychotherapy. Johns Hopkins University recently opened a new center for psychedelic research thanks to a $17 million grant from donors. Paul B. Rothman, Dean of the Medical Faculty at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine and CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine, is optimistic about this new field of medical, psychiatric, and pharmaceutical research. Quote, "Our scientists have shown that psychedelics have real potential as medicine," he said, "and this new center will help us explore that potential." Well, I'll tell you, it's great to hear that legitimate organizations like Johns Hopkins, like these universities, are spending millions, of $17 million to be exact, to get into the research as to how to apply these psychedelic, drugs to the public in a safe manner so that they can be changed and helped and aided in their mental health issues. This is a good thing, guys. I'm a big fan of this. We should be exploring all opportunities, guys. All opportunities. So there's more questions than answers. It's natural at this stage to feel apprehensive in regards to investment in a new pharmaceutical sector. So this is for all you venture capitalists out there. Are you a VC on the bleeding edge of biopharm, biotech? If so, maybe psychedelics is where you need to be spending some of that time. Maybe you just need to try some. Okay, so you're not supposed to, there's a disclaimer at the bottom of this YouTube channel in the description below. It says we don't give venture capital advice. I'm not saying that you should do drugs or do anything like that. So I know the YouTube bots are listening, and they're going to probably flag this as inappropriate. But listen, if you're going to invest, you should kind of know what you're investing in. And so that's the question. If you're a venture capitalist out there, if you're an angel investor out there, if you're someone who's interested in this, do you think, let me know in the comments below, do you think it's important that a priori you invest before you invest, you actually try it or experience it? Right? I mean, it's kind of like saying, I want to invest in Coke, but I've never actually had Coke. You know, I want to invest in Pepsi, but I've never actually had Pepsi. You kind of have to know what you're investing in. That make sense? Let me know. What do you guys think? Denver, Colorado, and Oakland, California both recently decriminalized possession of psilocybin, and legislation has already been drafted in many other locations across the United States. Canada's first psychedelic VC fund, Field Trip Ventures. Ooh. Nice name. Nice name. Field Trip Ventures recently launched. The goal of the fund like this is to have products ready to launch in the days and weeks leading up to legalization, proving that the early days of this emerging market are already here. Pharmaceutical companies that are already actively developing psychedelic patents. Earlier this year, the U.S. Drug and Food Administration approved Johnson & Johnson's ketamine-derived nasal spray, Spravato, for treatment-resistant depression. Not bad, J&J. My alma mater, my first job was at J&J, guys. You got it.
Smoke weed every day.
Ooh, I don't know where that came from. 8, Atai Life Sciences is an interesting case, as the founder's family office, Aperion Investment Group, seed funded the startup in 2018. Atai recently closed a Series B financing and has raised $80 million to continue research and development within the space. Minimizing risk when investing in futuristic technology? Well, this obviously speaks to you guys, the venture capitalists and angel investors out there. What do you have to do when it comes to investing critically or in psychedelics or the future of biotech, biopharm? Well, think clinically. Governments will likely try to keep experimentation limited and to highly controlled, supervised scientific environments. Controlled environments for psychedelics? That's like an oxymoronic statement, isn't it? To make the case for effective treatment of extremely complex psychiatric disorders, it's critical to couple psychedelic drug therapy and talk therapy or professional therapeutic guidance. It's also likely that states will have to require some kind of rehab-like protocol for administering the drug to collect research. It would be nice to have some sort of protocol to administer the drug, though many people administer the drug themselves. These inpatient facilities, or maybe even on-call shaman. Ooh, an on-call shaman. I'm liking that, guys.
Gotcha, bitch.
On-call shaman will become the dispensaries and delivery services of the psychedelic realm. Embrace science. I'm a scientist. I'm a trained scientist, so embrace science for science, guys. Scientists and researchers are the most necessary element in building a case for the legalization and commercialization of psychedelics. Many cultures over thousands of years have created supervised ritual journeys based on the psychedelic journey, like the ayahuasca journey that I've listened to and heard about for years now. Yet one common truth remains: scientific regulation is a very necessary step on the industry's trip to success. Even as we speak, scientists are engineering bacteria to produce biologically derived lab-grown psilocybin. Ooh, not bad. That sounds good. And there's a huge opportunity for entrepreneurs to improve upon the delivery method of these compounds. Only invest in brands and people who execute? Well, that seems like a pretty nice mainstay for anyone in the investment world. Talent matters more than the idea. Exactly. Invest in hustlers. Invest in grinders. Invest in guys who won't go away. Early entrants into the psychedelic capital game are fortunate to have proven business models from the recent commercialization of cannabis industry to work from, and shouldn't be afraid to hire talent from the cannabis industry. If investing, find a team or project that is mission aligned, loves the work, and is committed to building successful ventures in this new industry, even if it's from the ground up and it's going up their nose. Just kidding. I added that segment, guys. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below or hit reply on the newsletter to let me know what your thoughts are on the future of investing from venture capitalists and angel investors into the psychedelic world. I think this is a great thing. I think this is a wonderful thing. I think it's fascinating that this world is finally upon us, in which psychedelics can be legitimized as drugs, as antidotes for many mental health issues that we have today. Anxiety, depression, PTSD, right? All sorts of ailments. And I know, and many of you guys already know, that there's a ton of value in CBD, in THC, and all of these types of compounds for these things as well. So it's good. We're moving into a progressive world where more people are being helped, and for you VCs out there, you angel investors, you could be part of the pretty cool wave of investing in psychedelics. So let me know your thoughts on this wave, and yeah, also let me know, comment. Let me know if you think that if you're going to invest in psychedelics, you should also be a trial user of said things. It's kind of, I think it's kind of important to know before you buy, right? True startup story, guys. You got it. Your company just got seed round financed. Congratulations. You're going to the moon. But now you have to scale. You found great talent out in California, New York, Georgia, and even Eastern Europe. So what communications platform will you be using to ensure your international team is always aligned? Well, the answer is easy. Slack.com for Teams. We've used Slack for all of our previous startups, and they've supported us in tremendous ways. And we want to give them a thanks today for supporting VCHunting.com. Did you also know that Slack is a great tool for personal use? Yeah, I use my own personal Slack channel to drop in documents, notes, to-dos, and follow-ups to ensure that my workflow throughout the day is right on course. I promise you, if you try out Slack.com for personal use, you'll end up using it for your team as well. Go to Slack.com to check it out. Welcome back to Venture Daily. Make sure that you subscribe, you check us out on the tweeters, and you subscribe to our daily newsletter from VC Hunting, The Daily Hunt. It's a great place. Now we're going to move into Venture Deals, which is one of my favorite parts of every show. It really is one of my favorite parts because I get to learn about where the money is going, where the money is flowing, and whether any of these are ideas or startups or any of these companies have apps that I should be checking out or using or maybe investing in as an investor. Let's get into Venture Deals for December 26th. 2019, Customer, a New York-based enterprise customer service platform, raised $60 million in Series E funding. Congratulations. Co2 led the round, is joined by investors including Battery Ventures and Tiger Global Management. May Mobility, an autonomous transportation as a service provider, raised $50 million in Series B funding. Congratulations. Toyota Motor Corporation led the round, is joined by investors including Sparks Group. Flow, a New Jersey-based cross-border e-commerce solution for brands and retailers, raised $37 million in Series B funding. Congratulations. Auto Pets. Yeah. A Auburn Hills, Michigan-based provider of self-cleaning cat litter boxes, raised $31 million. Auto Pets. Starship. Starship, a New York-based fintech focused on HSAs, raised $7 million in funding. Valar Ventures read the round. Congratulations. Infinitium Electric, an Austin-based maker of IoT-enabled electric motors, raised $12.5 million in a Series B financing. Cottonwood Technology Fund led the round. Otis, a New York-based fintech for investing in art and other alternative assets, raised $11 million in Series A funding. Maveron led the round. Fintech for investing in art. So is this a blockchain thing? Culture is a new asset. Ability to invest in contemporary art, sneakers, and collectibles for as little as $25. Does this seem interesting to you guys? Let me know in the comments. Brideside, a Chicago-based concierge bridal and bridesmaid shopping firms, raised $7 million. I like this. The bride industry, the wedding industry is never going away, guys. And we saw, some of you guys might remember, we saw in the other, either yesterday's Christmas Day or the day before's venture deals, another wedding startup that was also funded. There's money going in, guys. There's always money going into the wedding world, guys. The bride world. Proteus Motion, a Boston-based maker of rehab technology, formerly known as Boston Biomotion, raised $3.8 million, led by NBA Commissioner Emeritus Dave Stern. Bond Pet Foods, a Boulder biotech company making animal-free, protein-rich pet food, raised $1.2 million. I'm telling you, I've seen more money this year. Not more, but I've seen a lot of money go into the pet world, pet food, pet industry. It's crazy how much money is going into pets, guys. I wish this is going to maybe reveal my worldview a little bit. But guys, I value humans more than pets. Oh no, fry me at the stake, guys. But I value humans more than pets. Now, while I think it's great, and there's lots of great ideas in the pet world, man, I'd like to see more investments in human improvement than pet improvement. Thoma Bravo agreed to acquire infrastructure Salt Lake City-based maker of educational software for roughly $2 billion. Wow. Sounds like a lot of money, guys. Windchurch Capital acquired Clyde Industries in Atlanta. Ooh, Atlanta, guys. We got more Atlanta. Windchurch Capital acquired Clyde Industries, an Atlanta-based provider of services for the global pulp and paper industry. Financial terms weren't disclosed. You guys know that I always love to support my ATL. Windchurch Capital. Congratulations. Credit Mutual Equity invested in Care Health Group, a Canada-based pharmacy group. Financial terms weren't disclosed. Stone Point Materials, backed by Sun Capital Partners, acquired Road Builders, a Greenville, Kentucky-based materials and paving construction operation. Not bad. Canopy Biosciences, backed by Ampersand Capital Partners, acquired Core Diagnostics, a Hayward, California-based provider of biomaker analysis services for biopharmaceutical researchers. Ardian made a minority investment in S&H, a Paris-based consulting firm focused on HR and finance support functions. Gem Spring Capital invested in Shreve Chemical Company, a Texas-based marketer for industrial chemicals, performance fluids, and specialty lubes.
Gotcha, bitch. No, God.
Lubes.
No, God.
Gotta
Please,
love those
no,
lubes,
no,
guys. Those lubes.
No. No.
Lubes. Permira closed its acquisition of Cambrix Corporation, a New Jersey-based small molecule firm providing drug substance, drug product, and analytical services across the entire drug life cycle. Well, they would be happy. They would be happy with everything that's going on with the psychedelic world. Maybe they're part of that. Permira closed its acquisition of Cambrix Corporation. We already donned that. Health and Safety Institute, backed by Wallander Capital Partners, acquired Martech Media, Texas-based industrial tech training provider. And last but not least, Kinderhook Industries, majority recap South Carolina's Long's Drugs and California-based MedQuest Pharmacy Services, combining on-site and central field pharmacy services and healthcare facilities. Well, there you go, guys. That is today's Venture Deals. It's so powerful to read this out every day. It's so powerful to know that money, millions, guys, billions in today's, billions of money, billions of monies, billions of dollars, cha-chings are flowing all over the place into different markets. It doesn't, I say it doesn't matter, but I think this is one of the most encouraging parts of my show, is that every day we get to hear about money flowing into these markets. It means if you have an idea in any of these markets, money's there, guys. Money's there. Be something. Create something amazing. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be reading about you in the Daily Venture Deals part of Venture Daily. That would be cool. That would be cool. You know what? You know, it's also, this is an opportunity, and no one's really clued in on this, and I haven't really told anyone about it, but this is actually a pretty good opportunity right here to send me like announcements. If you have funds, or you have startups, or you have investments that have been doing well, maybe you should send me a tip and let me know so I could put them in these Venture Deals master list so that you get shielded, you get a little bit more playtime, something like that, maybe. I'm just here to help out. You guys know I'm here to help out.
Did you know that there's even more value than just audio or video? Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at VC Hunting, and make sure to sign up for the VC Hunting newsletter, where you'll be able to get weekly news on venture capital, startups, founder stories, and the occasional wisdom extracted from Peter's brain. Go to vchunting.com to sign up. And now, back to the episode.
All right, well, in today, December 26th, the day after Christmas, I hope you guys have had a wonderful Christmas day. Now, you don't have to be a celebrator of Christmas to enjoy Christmas. It's a day off, guys. It's a day off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got fat and happy and ate lots of great food. Met up with your chingus, met up with your friends, met up with your peeps, met up with your families, and just enjoying the final days of 2019. I want to talk about something that I think is important. It's random, but it's important on today. And today, I don't invite that many people to come on my VC Hunting segment of this YouTube channel, where we find the untold stories of venture capitalists. It's invite only, and I invite people, and those interviewees get to invite other VCs to come on the show to benefit from the syndication platform that we have, the machine that I've created. And I wanted to celebrate with you guys because I think this is a big thing. Oh, that's a big thing for me. We are, and I wanted to say this with some pride, because I'm excited about it. We are the number one. That's right. This channel, this entire machine, is the number one fastest growing daily venture capital show in venture media today. We are the fastest growing daily show in venture capital. We are the fastest growing daily show in venture capital, talking about venture capital deals every day, some news commentary on what's going on, and some personal commentary from me in segments like this. I'm happy. I'm proud. I'm excited that we're literally the number one fastest growing show in the venture media world. Daily show. It's exciting. It's great to know that we're growing a powerful audience. And so I was doing some metrics, and I was doing some looking back and seeing how that we were growing. And the reason for this is because remember the context, I invite people on, and one of the people that was invited on, he pinged me and he asked me, he said, "Hey, how many downloads are you getting? How many impressions? Give me the metrics of your podcast," which is really hard, by the way, to calculate because we're syndicating right now. And I can tell you this, the average podcaster, and I think I have to qualify this, the average podcaster in the venture capital, venture media world only syndicates to an average of 3 or 4 places, right? They have some sort of syndication system that goes to iTunes, it goes to Google Podcasts, it might go to Spotify, these types of platforms. But the average podcaster in the venture media space is only syndicating to about 3 or 4 places. We're syndicating to over 20 and growing. I think we're at like 26 right now, including the decentralized space. So we are clearly the fastest growing, not only by the number of syndicated platforms, we're also the fastest growing by total impressions and total downloads in mass. And I did the stats, and I'm really excited about this. I want to give you guys a little bit of a transparency because this guy asked me, and I was like, I can provide you what I can get. But we're already past 200,000 per month. 200,000 downloads, impressions per month. And that's really good for a show that hasn't even been around for half a year yet. Not even half a year. That's not even the right relative statement to say. We haven't been around that long at all, but we're doing the right things. We're growing in the right direction. We're doing all the right things to make sure that the news of venture capital, the news of what's going in the VC finance, the founder, the entrepreneurship world is being syndicated to larger and larger swaths of audiences all over the world. China, Japan, Korea, Australia, Russia, Europe, Canada, Mexico, South America. I mean, we're trying to get the word out. And again, I'm excited. I'm happy to say that we are the number one fastest growing fastest growing, at least from the data that I've been able to pull, fastest growing daily venture capital show on the planet. Now, I want to thank all of you guys. So that's what I want to do. That's the whole point of telling you all this information, is I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys. You guys make it possible. You guys make it possible. You guys listen. I have listeners, and on every platform, whether it's the decentralized space, DTube, BitTube, Library. I have listeners on Spreaker, on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere, YouTube. I have people on our Instagram. I have people hitting me up on that TikTok though. I got people all over the place, and it's encouraging, and it's because of you guys that I continue to do this, and I hope you guys will stick around. I hope you guys will continue to help me grow this, because we're doing some damage here. We're guys doing some damage. So please, here's my call out, my call to action. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, subscribe to it. Check it out. Please subscribe. The link's below. It's the first link that you can click on. Subscribe to the newsletter. And if you like this show, if it's an encouraging show and you love me just being a little bit of a part of your day every day, let other people know. Let your network know about what we're doing. We're trying to get the word out for founders, for venture capitalists, and for people who are self-educators generally in the agile space. And so we're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to be doing a lot more next year, because some of you guys might not have known this. Some of you guys know, but most of you guys don't. Is I still train. I still train in software development. I still train in Agile. I still train startups. I still coach and consult startups and founders, helping them build. And we're going to be doing even more of that in 2020. I'm super excited for a lot of the stuff that's coming out. It's going to be awesome, guys. 2020 is going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy year. So thanks so much. You guys made it possible. Share this, subscribe, let the world know that the fastest growing daily show on venture capital is right here. And you guys are here with me. Thanks. You make it all possible. I'll see you guys tomorrow.